Hi, it's Nick Aster with TriplePundit.com. I'm here at the Global Reporting Initiative's 2013 conference in Amsterdam. I'm here with Marjella Alma. She is also with Focal Point USA, the GRI's outreach in the United States. And one of the big thing that everyone's been talking about here are the new guidelines, the G4, that have just been presented here at the conference. Marjella, can you walk us through a little bit about how GRI is evolving and what the G4 is all about?
Yes, of course. I think probably the buzzword of this conference has been materiality. And some people have said, what's new in that? GRI has always had the principles of materiality, stakeholder inclusiveness, sustainability context, and completeness. So what's so new? I think what is new is that we have identified that with sustainability reporting, there has been an immense amount of disclosure overload. A race towards the top in terms of trying to report on more and more indicators. So we have to get away from that. So with the new G4, companies will be asked to focus in on those topics that matter most, list them, and go one by one explaining why these are actually material. So I think that's a major improvement.
That sounds like it makes sense. And how does a company decide, to prioritize what is material?
So you have to look at, of course, your stakeholders. The other principle that GRI has always had, stakeholder inclusiveness. It's something you don't do it by yourself. You involve people in the room or by surveys. There's different ways in which you could do stakeholder engagement, but it's important to get the views of the people that have an interest and a stake in your company. And by getting their views on what are the most relevant issues, whether that's water or energy or biodiversity, that's how you start the process. And then if you've gone through that initial process, you decide, what can we do? Do we report data? Do we report narrative? What is realistic? To what extent do we have influence or control over this particular topic? That's also where supply chain and value chain comes into the equation of materiality.
That sounds good. It sounds like this is going to bring us some more impactful, impacts on stuff that obviously really matters. And your work in the U.S., how is the GRI adoption in the U.S. going? Have things been progressing? Have more companies, how's it going?
Yeah, I think when you look at the actual numbers that we're seeing, the U.S. now is growing much faster than Europe. So I believe 19% of the S&P 500 were reporters just 1 year ago, and that has grown to 53% in just 1 year, and it's a study done by GNA Institute.
That's like tripling.
Yes, yeah, so that's really massive, so that's really good. Something that we saw, though, is that a lot of US companies initially saw GRI as a checklist. And with the G4, I think we're really saying use reporting as a tool to affect real change. So the GRI reporting framework is an inventory, and you can be flexible in its use. You don't have to do it all. Yes, there are new disclosures on governance and remuneration especially, but report on those indicators that are truly important to you.
Excellent. Marjella, thanks very much for your time.
You're welcome.